Hello, good day, dear parents. You're welcome to another episode of Smart Parenting Tips with Oluwatoyin. This series is about communication, communicating, positive communication. How do you speak with your children? What are the barriers to communication? For this first part, I'll be talking about how you can communicate positively with your children. So, what is communication? Communication is a two-way process of transferring information from one person to another. This involves a sender, a receiver, the message, and the medium and the feedback. For your communication to be effective, the person you're speaking with should understand what you're saying and should be able to give you feedback. So, since I'm talking to parents, when you're communicating with your child should be able to understand what you've said. Your child should be able to give you feedback when you've spoken to him or her. And it's also the other way. When your child speaks to you, you should be able to understand what your child has said, and you should be able to give your child a positive feedback during this conversation process. However, there are barriers to communications. I've had customers calling me asking, Coach T, why can't I talk to my child? Why am I discussing with my teenager and it's as if I'm talking to the wall? I don't get the positive feedback. Why is it I'm discussing with my daughter and it's as if she's not even listening to me? And I've heard teenagers saying, when I talk to my mom, she's not there. My mom is not available for me to talk to. My dad is never around. He's busy with his gadgets, he's busy with the phone, he's busy with his work. How can I communicate with them when they're not there? So parents, I'm going to talk about barriers to communications. I'm going to talk about how you can communicate effectively. But let me start with the positive steps in communicating with your children. What is positive communication all about? Positive communication is you communicating with your child, making your child feel important, showing love and respect to your child. And I'll give you 5 tips to positive communication. The first tip, being emotionally present. What do I mean by that? So it's one thing for your child to be talking to you, and it's another thing for you to be busy with your phone, fidgeting with your phone, or actually typing something. You are not emotionally present at that point in time. Or your child is talking to you and you're busy doing something else. You are not emotionally present at that point in time. For you to be emotionally present when your child is talking with you, or when you are even talking with your child, you need to give your child your full attention. You need to have eye contact with your child, and you need to avoid multitasking. So the first tip in positive communication is you being emotionally present. The second tip is you listening, practice active listening. And what do I mean by active listening? Your child is talking to you, your child is speaking with you, you're speaking with your child, you are listening without being judgmental. You are listening with an open mind. You are listening to what your child is saying and not the way your child is saying it. Because at times your children might be upset and they're trying to convey their emotions to you, and they might end up saying it in a very rude way. I'm not condoning rudeness, but I need you to listen to the words behind those emotions. Why is your child saying what he's saying? What is your child trying to convey? I know in communication, it's not just the words you speak that matters, but also the emotions you have during those words, speaking those words, the tone you're using, and your facial and non-verbal expressions matters a lot. So when listening to your children, you listen to the words said, you listen to the words not said, you watch your child's body language to get some more information. Then the third thing you can do, the third step in positive communication, is you paraphrasing. When your child has said something to you, you summarize what you've heard and say it back to your child for you to be sure you've understood what your child has said. Then, when you're giving your child information to, ask your child to paraphrase, to give you a summary of what he or she has heard, for you to know that you've conveyed the message and your child has understood the message. The fourth step of communication, positive communication, is you telling your child what you want, not telling your child what you do not want. And as parents, we tend to do this a lot. I don't want you to go there. I don't want you to do this. I don't want you. And it's so unfortunate that the brain cannot comprehend the not. So as parents, let's tend to speak more in positives. What do you want to tell your child? What do you want your child to do? I want you to take this cup and take it to the kitchen when you're done eating. Not, I don't want you to leave your cup on the table when you're done eating. No, you tell your child what you want. Telling your child what you want helps in bridging the gap in communication. And finally, you have to ensure that your child understands what you've said by you ensure that you have an open channel of communication in your home where your child is free to speak to you about anything. And for you to have an open channel of communication, it simply means that you've built a trusting relationship with your child. You have a rapport with your child where your child knows that at any point in time, he or she can come and talk to you, and you'll be there to listen, and you'll be there to listen without being judgmental. So I'll be stopping here. For those who have not bought my book, Smart Parenting, please click on the link below. You get the book. And please, I would like you to also click on the red button below to subscribe to this channel. Smart Parenting Tips with Oluwatoyin. Thank you very much. Bye.